Hey, just kind of quickly wanted to make sure you were clear where we were. We've been thinking about why arguments need to be audience centered and audience driven and not just what we think or what we care about. And we were asking these questions this week. What do I want them to think or feel? How can I anticipate the needs of my audience? And then today and this week, we're just thinking about the question of like, what's the evidence then that I can use? If I know I want them to think a certain way, what do I need to do to get them to think like me? Okay, so what do they need in order to agree with me? And so we're thinking today about the rhetorical appeals, and you've got a link to this doc, and these go all the way back to Aristotle, right? He was an old Greek guy around the time of Plutarch who said when people try to persuade others, there's kind of like three main ways that they do that, or three main categories that those appeals fit in. We're just going to look at those three, which may be review for you, focusing on the specific types of evidence that are offered inside of each. So the first is logos, which you can see as an appeal to logic. And then it just lists the things that it might use in order to get us there. Okay, so if I want the audience to think like me, I might use facts, statistics, evidence, numbers, definitions, quotations from experts, logic. Those are all options at my disposal. So when I'm sitting there writing and it's like, how do I convince them? I can come back to these as a worthy resource to help me. Okay. It's the same for pathos, which is an appeal to emotions. You can see that here, right? When I want the audience to feel like me, right? And it notes that the speaker tries to convince the audience through awakening their emotional connection. Okay. Sometimes that is diction choices. It's really loaded. It notes here as well, they could use narratives or stories. Okay. When a speaker or a writer is telling stories, they're trying to move my heart, not necessarily my mind. Could be an emotional example, right? It could be figurative language. You might notice lots of metaphors where the writer is trying to explain what it's like. Okay, that's because they want us to feel and put ourselves in the shoes of it. And just lists some common emotional appeals, right? A writer might appeal to love or to fear, to guilt. Those are all strong emotional appeals that a writer can use. Lastly is ethos, which is all about the credibility of the speaker. Okay, so how does the speaker earn your trust? We kind of think about it this way. The logos is appeal to the brain, pathos to the heart, ethos to the gut. Okay, what's the gut feeling that you get from the speaker? And some people you kind of inherently trust. There are reasons for that. And some people we inherently just don't trust. We won't listen to or take their advice. Okay. It lists here the ways that ethos gets established. It can be through knowledge. Okay, your demonstration that you're on top of your facts. It could be from personal experience. I've got experience in this topic. That's why you can listen to me. Okay, that's why you can trust me. I've been there. In my senior English class the other day, we were talking about drama, right? And the question was, has anybody been in a play or worked on a set of a play? And those people had some unique experience to offer the rest of us. They had some ethos that we lacked. Okay? It could be a position or title that the speaker has. This is a good one. I think the goodwill toward the audience. Okay. And that's what we worked on the other day. Like when we acknowledge them or concede to them or anticipate their questions accurately. And uh, when we define the parameters, like those things all demonstrate goodwill. Okay. Being restrained and fair minded, adjusting language to fit the audience, meaning I don't talk to an audience of middle school students the same way I would an audience of doctors. I adjust my language to meet them. That builds ethos for me. Okay. Then lastly, self-deprecation, the willingness to poke fun at ones. These are all ways we might establish our credibility for our audience. Okay. On the back just gives you another way to think through that. Okay, I recommend reading. If you have questions about the appeals, what they are, why we use them, what it might look like to use them, just shoot me an email, shoot me a note. Same if you have questions as you dig into the 2-minute case, you can join your group or you can do it independently, but you got to do it one way or the other. Okay, and I'm happy to help and support you. So let me know what I can do to help. All right, hope to see you guys again soon.